Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Here comes a 1-2 from Duvall. Lines one into right center field for a base hit. Turner will score. Lux is on his way to third. Bellinger, with the biggest hit of his career, has just given the Dodgers a 2-1 lead.
No balls, 2 strikes. And Flores, did he go?
He did! And the game ends!
A swinging strike 3. Gabe Morales rings him up. The game is over, and the Los Angeles Dodgers are headed to the National League Championship Series. Boy, what a way to end a game. This.
Oh,
man, he
boy,
didn't go.
that's bad.
I don't think he went.
That's bad.
Can't end a game that way. But it's over. It's not reviewable. It's in the books. Max Scherzer closes it out for the Dodgers.
Super tough. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you don't want a game to end that way. I know these guys work really hard to make the right call, so it's super challenging on our end. Obviously, it's going to be frustrating to have a game end like that, but pretty high-quality hitter at the plate that can climb back into that count. It's no guarantee of success at the end of the at-bat. It's just a tough way to end it. There's no, for especially right now, there's no need to, to be angry about that. I just think it's just a disappointing way to end.
Yeah, how about that last night? Yeah, and we're within 24 hours of kickoff, Arkansas versus Auburn. We had things happen yesterday to react to first.
Plenty of things happened yesterday.
Lots, which of course does involve a 5-star recruit now joining Arkansas basketball. Ooh. Jordan Walsh made the announcement yesterday, 5 o'clock. That sent Razorback Twitter and basically the fan base into a tizzy and almost kind of starting to measure the drapes a little bit for a Final Four or something like that around the 2022-2023 season. We had a great Game 5 in the Division Series last night, and you heard the calls coming in there. Charlie Steiner on the Dodgers radio network on the game-winning hit in the 9th inning by Cody Bellinger, then the TBS telecast of Brian Anderson and Ron Darling taking you through the check swing strike 3 that ended the game and the Giants, up until that point, magical season. And then the reaction from Giants manager Gabe Kapler, which I think was about as classy as he could have done it. Without
a lot classier than what I would have done.
Yeah, without saying what I think really would have been on his mind there. He's going to say you can't be angry about it. Well, you can. I think a lot of Giants fans probably are. A lot of baseball fans.
Just baseball in general fans are upset about it.
Yeah, was that the way that a great series and a great game should end?
Heck no.
Certainly didn't feel like it. And now you got your division series set. Cardinals fans are scratching their heads. What happened yesterday? Mike Schilt is shown the door after 3 successful seasons as the manager of the Cardinals, and now it's been he joined the organization in 2004. 2004, and now he's no longer part of the organization because of philosophical differences. Pretty interesting term to use for somebody that's been a part of the Cardinals philosophy for almost 20 years. So
figured if anybody's ideals and beliefs lined up with an organization, to be a guy who's been there, like you said, since 2004. And I guess it just really, for the quote-unquote Cardinal way and the best fans in baseball way, it doesn't really matter what you do in September. The only thing that counts is October and early November.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, one of the grayest areas in the rule book for baseball is the check swing rule, which there is nothing in the rule book that states anything about where the bat comes over the plate, if the wrists move. Nothing, absolutely nothing in the rule book states what is a swing and what is not a swing on the check swing.
Really? There's not a single thing in the rule book that says bat doesn't have to cross the front of the plate.
Nope.
Wrists don't have to break. Because that's what we've all been taught our entire lives, right?
You've been taught incorrectly.
Is that a check? You can pull it back if the barrel does not cross the front of the plate, or you do not break your wrists. And I'm more of a fan of the across the plate, because that's going at least halfway, right? That's going at least halfway across your body, even if you don't break the wrist. And from what we've all come to know and what we feel as true hard fact of baseball, that was a check swing. That was not a strike. It should have never been called a strike in any circumstance. It shouldn't have been called a strike on opening day. It shouldn't have been called a strike yesterday. Okay, so the thing is, the biggest thing about it is, and I've heard all the different debates, it's a 50-50 thing, it's a judgment call. Whatever he thought it was, you don't end a series in the playoffs on a check swing.
Well,
you just
it's pretty
don't.
obvious.
Unless
it's obvious. If it's
and
obvious,
that wasn't
a check
obvious.
swing, then a strike is a strike. You got to call it properly.
I mean,
if
he goes three-quarters around, I mean.
That was not a swing, and I don't think there's any other way to put it. I think Gabriel Morales, given the opportunity to review that, and in an honest moment, without his crew chief defending him like he did yesterday, he would say he got the call wrong. But in the rule book, it's up to the umpire's discretion as to decide the batter's intent.
But the thing about it to me was it felt so trigger happy. Like, just short, quick, point down, and he went, yes. Like,
well, that's what an umpire's supposed to do.
I know, but think about the moment. Think about the impact of what you're about to say and do will not only just have on these two teams, but the entire conversation of baseball. And also just think, hey, do I really want more people to know my name? Right? Because the umpire names that we know are the umpires' names that get it wrong and the ones that nobody likes. And you have to have, I know that's not what they're supposed to do, but I feel like you have to have that in the back of your mind. Just like know the situation, know the ultimate outcome of your decision here. And honestly, if somehow the Giants come back, they tie it up or go into extras or they just flat out win it there in the ninth, I don't think that any Dodger fan today or ever will look back at that check swing call, if he had called it good, said it was a check swing, not a strike, and would have blamed him. Nobody on the other side of this decision would have blamed him, would have known his name, would have been upset about it, would have pointed at that moment in the ball game and said, that's why we lost. That's the reason. Nobody in their right mind would have ever blamed him if the Giants would have come back and won. But the fact of the matter is, he decided that the series and the game should end right then and there off of a very quick, didn't think out decision, and that's what's the problem.
I don't know what you expect an umpire to do at that moment. Do you expect him to take a second and think about it? That's not what they're supposed to do. Then the idea of doubt comes into anybody else's mind.
After
you can't. You go by your first vision. You get it right. You get it wrong on the first thing.
But you have to know what situation you're in before that even comes to you.
He knows the situation that he's in.
Does he?
He made a bad call. He made a bad call, and bad calls have happened at the end of series previously before. It's just not on gray area stuff like this, unless it's a strike zone thing in which there is still a clearly defined strike zone to go by in the rule book. You can't expect an umpire to take an extra split second based on the situation.
And for the most part, I don't.
All season long.
For the most part, I don't. And let me make this 100% clear. That call is not the reason the Giants lost the game. The Giants did plenty of things to lose the game themselves. They went 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Right. They would have been shut out if it wasn't for a leadoff home run in the bottom of the 6th. There were plenty of things that cost the Giants the game.
That's exactly right.
But it still is a factor. So I'm not blaming it on him for the reason that they lost. I'm just saying in future situations, especially when this is a win or die game, a series defining moment, kind of figure out the moment in your head first and work through the situations. If this gets called, if it's not 100% in my mind that was a clear-cut swing, I'm going to go safe. Even on the 50-50 calls, I'm going safe.
I think you're expecting too much of umpires in quick second moments like that. He makes a quick decision based upon what he sees. You cannot wait to go through it in your mind again. That's not what an umpire's done throughout the previous 6 months. I mean, he's going to understand the situation anyway. I mean, we're getting too far into this because the fact of the matter is that it's not reviewable. you can't review intent, although in football I guess you can, but we still don't get that right. And it isn't the reason they lost the game. It's just the position that they were in at that moment because they couldn't hit a freaking lick throughout the entire series. The Giants hit 182 in the series, scored 10 runs in 5 games. That team didn't win because they couldn't hit at the biggest moments. And the Dodgers, I mean, look, we went through yesterday talking about they're not going to start Julio or they're going to start Julio or Urias. This is not a team that goes with openers very often. And I didn't like the decision that they made to start Knievel, but, man, did it ever work out where they used relievers to start the game and starters to finish the game, and we didn't even think Scherzer would be out there, and there he is getting his first career save in a Game 5 of a division series.
Took a play straight out of Kevin Cash's book there.
It was kind of a Madison Bumgarner moment from one of those World Series years with the Giants. All right, so it's not a full baseball day here, but that's obviously what happened last night, and you do have a championship series that starts today with the Astros and the Red Sox. Third time these teams meet in the postseason in the last 4 years, and they don't like each other very much, although not too many of the Red Sox are still around from the last time they met in the postseason. But, of course, Arkansas-Auburn is a hot topic. Arkansas basketball is a huge topic, and this weekend you get a chance to get a look at the men's and women's teams for the first time with an open practice for Mike Neighbors' team that they're hoping concludes or starts with the ending of the football game, 3 o'clock, Bud Walton, and then the red-white game on Sunday at Barnhill Arena. And I know that means Eddie is really fired up about everything going on the Hill. I would ask Eddie what he thinks about, like, the rule book in baseball for trying to figure out a batter's intent, but I know Eddie's called for other things here. Eddie, let's just throw this out here. The recent series, Arkansas versus Auburn, has been, well, just miserable for the Razorbacks. But Gus Malzahn's not the head coach there. He was 7-1 against Arkansas. Do you think that since Gus Malzahn is not the head coach, a little bit of that magic pixie dust might fall off the Tigers in this iteration of the Arkansas-Auburn series?
Well, it starts tomorrow, gentlemen, at 11 o'clock. We're going to clean that slate, and we're going to put it on the Auburn Tigers. You mentioned about the jukebox, but I was so excited yesterday. I was blowing that whistle when a young man jumped aboard a basketball hawk train. And we're going to be blowing that whistle. When I hit that 40 corridor tomorrow, I'm coming hungry. And for this fan base, we're coming from all 4 corners of the state. We don't care if it's 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or 9 a.m. We're going to pack that stadium, and we're coming hungry. And we're bringing the good times to Razorback Stadium tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And when the final whistle blows, we're going to be winners. For the defense, rise up and come hungry. Give it to Bo Nix.
I think they're going to try to chase Bo Nix around. Is there anything that worries you about Bo Nix and an ability to get away from the pass rush? I think Arkansas is going to be able to break through that line a few times and have an opportunity to get him down. Now, I'm not saying Bo Nix is Matt Corral, which has got some of the same attributes of Matt Corral, of the ability to get away from the rush, create on the fly. So, I mean, this is the kind of quarterback that can cause problems with you. And I'm not sure if his statistics really tell how well he's played this year. Does Bo Nix worry you at all, Eddie?
Bo Nix is an outstanding quarterback, as most quarterbacks in the SEC are. I'll give him that. But I'm going to tell this defense, be prepared for him to pull it down and run it. And that's exactly what they're going to do if you don't get to him and pressure him. Fan base, when he's back in that pocket, make a lot of noise and feed him a big dose of Woo Pig Suey from start to finish. And if we do these things, that's the recipe to beat Auburn tomorrow. And then we're going to be 5-2 and the toughest schedule in the entire country.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, that's right, Eddie. All right, we'll let you go, man. I appreciate your phone call. Thank you for listening to our show. That's Friday, Eddie. Sometimes you hear that kind of intensity from Monday, Eddie. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Eddie. It's a little more chilled out. When you're within 24 hours of kickoff, Friday, Eddie, can be something to behold sometimes.
A lot of energy.
Yeah. 877-377-6963 to get with us. All the betting lines continue to move in the direction of the Razorbacks. The week started with the Hogs favored by 3. All the betting lines pretty much right now have them favored by at least 5 points. So the money's coming in on the Hogs. Where's your money on them? You can let us know what you think about this outcome or what you think the outcome will be and what the keys are, and we'll dig into Arkansas football next on Halftime.
Cause your life will depend on the strength that you have inside you. I gotta be proud, standing out in the crowd with the odds in the game by you. Try your best to win them all, and one day time will tell. When you're the one left standing there, you reach the final bell. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around.
I think you can be awfully proud of the way your fans are with you. I've never seen stands so full of life. The whole state was behind you. There was a spirit there about it, Coach, and that means that your team has done something that's really great for this state.
Thank you, sir. We're very proud of our fans. They've had a big part in the success that we've had.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Traylon down the sideline. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Randall Ford's a place to be if you're in the world of construction. You want a dependable, tough truck. Our friends at Blevco, Billy, Blevco Construction, they come by. They purchased an F-150 from you earlier this week. Just tickled to death with it, man.
Brand new, had it on the lot, didn't have to wait for it, didn't want to know when it was coming in. It was right here on the lot, and they loved the deal we made for them, and they're going home happy.
Yeah, you know it. You know, Billy, you have different customers come in with, 800 credit scores, 500 credit scores, everything in between. If somebody's a little bit down on the luck and they need a vehicle, you guys can help them out no matter what their credit score situation is.
We got the banks to do that, and we've got the vehicles to do that. We are the right place. We got the right stuff. Just need to come and see us.
Corvettes?
We got one of those, too.
You have Bronco Sports?
We got Bronco Sports.
New F-150s?
New F-150s.
There you go. A little bit of everything, Billy. Thank you. So stop by and see us, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Don't forget, if you're in the market, you're looking for a car, you can always shop us online as well at randallford.com.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Each day, we see familiar faces who have supported us from the beginning because they see the benefits of an active lifestyle. We're also always meeting new customers who are taking their first steps towards making running or walking a part of daily life. We have the opportunity to share in their successes and help them achieve their goals. The people of Fort Smith and the River Valley are why we believe we were voted one of the best running stores in America. Visit us and see how we can help you. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
You've had the hand-breaded chicken sandwich at Hardee's, but have you tried it with crispy bacon, melty Swiss, and their new hot honey sauce? It's the ultimate flavor of sweet and heat. Get it while you can, because this honey has some bite. Taste the sweet heat for yourself with the new hot honey hand-breaded chicken sandwich at Hardee's. Go get it now.
Feed your happy. Available for a limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
Bro, your fridge is empty. You need to make a beer run.
Nah, bro. I just ordered my beer from Sodi's on their new app. They're bringing the beer to me.
Yeah!
Your favorite store for wine, beer, and spirits now offers delivery in the Fort Smith area. Order online at mysodis.com or on the Sodi's app. Must be 21 or older and show ID upon delivery. Experience different at Sodi's Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Archery season is underway, and black powder season is just a few days away. Jelco Outdoors has a great selection of muzzle loaders and hunting accessories for this year's primetime hunt. It's time to get all your gear for deer season, and Jelco Outdoors is ready to help you get ready for a great time in the deer woods. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors. And remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
For 33 years, Manfield's Automotive Parts City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle needs. Get a great deal on a Superstart battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep on your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield is open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 8 to 1 on Saturdays.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
All right, Arkansas basketball has moved into second in the recruiting rankings for the 2022 class on 24/7 Sports, with second 5-star recruit Jordan Walsh now joining the Razorbacks by a verbal committing.
Let's remind everybody.
So his early signing period.
Still a lot of drama left out there to be played out.
Sure, Texas will try, as hard as they can to come after him. It's a
Well,
little further away to Branson than it is to DeSoto, Texas, though. He's now playing in Branson. And we'll get into that with Aaron Torres during the next segment. Aaron, of course, big time on college basketball along with college football, but he's more than dipped his toe into the recruiting stuff, and we've touched on Nick Smith with him. We've touched on his thoughts about Jordan Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that's interesting is Walsh yesterday spoke about how when he went for the visit with the coaching staff that they pretty much mapped out what his year with Arkansas will look like. And in their own mind, I mean, they figured, look, this is a kid who's a one and done. You just be honest with him and say, we're going to get you to the NBA as quickly as we possibly can. So they've mapped out a year for him. No more than that as far as it's concerned for his correlation to Arkansas, but it's just great to see, you be honest with somebody like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
From
what
the very
you want.
start. If Muss is the kind of guy that builds scouting reports on every player that he recruits and shows them these scouting reports, what they can improve on, what they'll do to improve those things. Well, that's all about honesty, right? You're going to be honest with a kid who, in this day and age, full well that a top recruiting class in college basketball, if you're just speaking of the freshmen, how many of those freshmen are really going to be around for a second year? If they've got 5 stars next to their name, they're not thinking about a second or third or fourth year on campus.
Yeah, I mean, with the 5 stars, there's probably always a given that's at least their mindset, right? Is it's a one and done. I'm only going. They're doing the man. What was his name? Who's the quarterback from Ohio State who said I didn't come here to play no school? 12 gauge.
Cardell Jones.
Cardell Jones, yeah.
He was the guy that stepped in and won them the national championship out of the blue, right?
Yes, he is. And so that's a lot of the mindset for a lot of these 5-star guys. I didn't come here to play no school. I'm going to make sure that I'm eligible to play with a grade point average of, what is it, like just above like a 2.3, somewhere around there, which for one semester is not very hard because that's honestly all these kids actually have to do. And I think you don't even have to take a full 5. You can probably just take 4. So, and you can pretty much pick any 4 classes you want. So they're not here to get an education, right? But with the 4-star guys, they're thinking that mentality, but it's the same thing of I might still be here by year 2 and 3. And you want to go after the guys that have that mentality because ultimately, if you have a mindset of you're going to the NBA, you're going to make sure that you're going in it not to improve skills. You're going in it to improve your draft stock, right? The better he plays, the more money he's going to make the next draft. So those are the type of guys that you want on your team because they're not only motivated by the coach, by the team, but they're motivated by monetary reasons, even without NIL.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're going to get to the league, man. You're going to go in the first round, right? You're going to have a few $1 million there.
Yeah, but number 1 pick makes a heck of a lot more than number 10.
I mean, I don't know what Moses Moody signed for, but all we have to know is that he signed to the first round with an NBA team and that he's a millionaire now.
Yes.
And on his way to hopefully making more money, just like the same. What is it that Calipari said? We lead the country in players signing a second contract in the NBA. Hopefully, I think Moses is good enough to sign that second contract.
I think he is, too.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. We'll see what happens with Nick Smith and Jordan Walsh once we get our eyes on them at the start of the 2022 season. But, I mean, now I love this narrative of Muss can't recruit high schoolers.
It's all about the transfer portal. He can only get players out of the transfer portal. Bro, he's got 2 5-stars. Get out of here.
It's hilarious.
Get off our lawn, Kentucky.
Well, you can't even go the route of Well, he's getting Arkansas high schoolers because Dunning is not from Arkansas. He's from Alabama, you know. And here's Jordan Walsh, and where's he from? He's from Texas. He's from Texas. So it's not just the Arkansas kids. This isn't just somebody that's recruiting, you know, guys that were dreaming of playing for the Razorbacks since they were born. This is much different than that. This is getting somebody that, heck, Texas wanted this recruit from Texas, and they have, you know, a big-name head coach in Chris Beard. They've got big expectations. And who got the kid from Texas? Eric Musselman did.
Exactly.
And he's not a transfer, and he's not from Arkansas. And you know who isn't? You know who's from Arkansas but doesn't live there?
Who's that?
And also is not a transfer. It's Jason in Frankfurt. Jason, you're up. How you doing, man? I know we're talking basketball, so here you are.
Well, the thing that impressed me about what he said was that he wanted to win a national championship. When I say he, Jordan Walsh.
Yeah.
So the kid's coming in. He realizes it's probably going to be 1 year. The coaches play that up to him, but he also brings out the fact that, you know what, he wants a ring to go with that NBA contract. So that's encouraging to me. Living here in Kentucky, a lot of Cal's recruits, what I read, they don't talk about necessarily winning a national championship, you know, first thing. So, and that discourages Big Blue Nation here. So just an outside observation, and one that I saw that Jordan Walsh made, which really encouraged me, being a kid not from Arkansas that wants to come in, win a national championship, get a ring, and go to the NBA, and I wish him the best. So wanted to pass that along. Hey, I wanted to also tell you, I went to Pittsburgh last week and got a Primanti Brothers sandwich. Yeah.
Well, Primanti's is overrated, and I'll say that as a Pittsburgher, okay? But what did you think of the city itself?
It's an engineering marvel.
Sure
when
is.
You drive through that Fort Pitt tunnel, and the city's right there in front of you, and on both sides, they just build these houses on the side of these Appalachian mountains. You look at it, and I think I would not want to live here because my calves would be huge from walking up and down the hills. But at the same time, you know, it was a nice city, clean. Went to a Pirates game. The Yinzers went nuts, and it was a good time.
Did you hear Pittsburghese spoken? You know, we assigned Drew learning some Yinzer language, Pittsburghese, yesterday on halftime homework. Did you hear any of that while walking around?
I did, because we were outside of the stadium, PNC Park, and there was some food trucks. It was a fan appreciation night, and got a hot dog at one of these food carts. It was an upscale hot dog, and lots of folks. Yens was being thrown around, and a lot of words that I really couldn't quite make out. So it was a good time. It was a good time. So.
Sounds like you got the full experience, man. I'm glad you went there. And thanks, as always, for the phone call. Appreciate you.
See ya.
You got it. It's Jason in Frankfurt.
Hey, Jason.
All you got to do is spend a day there, and you just hear it. You know, what the heck are these people saying?
So do I just need to fly to Pittsburgh this weekend and just naturally do my homework and not even try?
Yeah.
Just be there for a day, and I'll come back talking like a Yinzer myself?
Get yourself a cheap flight. It's the best way to study is to immerse yourself.
Exactly.
Feet first. Make a dive. All right, we got to step aside. Aaron Torres joins us next. We'll get into Arkansas basketball and get into the football weekend with AT next on Halftime.
Driving up the ball and through the roof. No house and clock and name telephone booth.
Halftime is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center. 4 generations making your family dreams come true.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up,
good night,
there's a lot of meetups.
Back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. Head to your website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of these amazing offers for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch.
Big old slab.
C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
The Game Day Lodge in Branson is the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. You'll find 10 bedrooms with 19 beds for up to 28 guests, 9 bathrooms, 17 TVs, poker table, 2 kitchens, 2 laundry rooms, a fire pit, 2 gas grills, outdoor basketball court, a heated indoor swimming pool nearby, and a 10-minute drive to Silver Dollar City. Not to mention near some of the best golf courses. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Airbnb, and VRBO. We're back, and
4 new BF Goodrich passenger or light truck tires. You also get a $60 satisfaction guarantee and 24-hour workside or roadside assistance. Southern Tire Mart just off of I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith. BF Goodrich Tires and best-in-class service. See bfgoodrichtires.com/tradesman for complete details. Offer expires 12/31/2021. Void where prohibited.
At Frank Rowe Furniture for the month of October, no sales tax and free delivery. You heard it right, no sales tax and free delivery. Frank Rowe Furniture offers made-in-the-USA products and service after the sale. Remember, no sales tax and free delivery in October at Frank Rowe Furniture. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house. Appliance excluded in sale and delivery must be within a 50-mile range.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey! People see me, but they just don't know. People see me, but they just don't know. People see me, but they just don't know. People.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. The Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach, Hog Reaction, Coffee with Counsel, Huddle Up, and Fantasy Football Sunday. All available on the Hit That Line podcast network. Just type Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Our podcasts are on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, hitthatline.com, Anchor, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Google Play. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center.
I love having Aaron Torres on the show. I've known him for about 6 years now. I especially love having Aaron Torres on after Arkansas gets a big-time basketball commit, because we spoke with AT, back during the Mike Anderson days, and he would talk a little bit about Eric Musselman at Nevada and when Coach A was let go and, do the coaching search, and Muss ends up as the head coach, and AT answered the criticism about Muss about this is a guy that just does it through the transfer portal. Well, you know what? He does it in multiple ways, and we saw that last year. We see that now. AT, what were your thoughts when you saw Jordan Walsh make that commitment yesterday?
All right, so Phil, I'll be honest. When I saw the commitment itself, I don't know that I was shocked, only because of the Nick Smith tweet the day before. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm plugged into Hog Twitter to a degree. I don't run the Torres on Hog's account, but I obviously follow it. And, they shared the Nick Smith tweet, so I was there. But what I'll tell you is this. First of all, everything he said is right. It is kind of a joke now in the community, the basketball community, about this idea that Musselman wasn't going to be able to recruit high school players. I'll tell you this, Phil. Because I live in L.A., most of these really, really good high school players. They all come through during the summer for various events, whatever, blah, 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 blah. This offseason, obviously, the last 2 off seasons, really, because of COVID, I haven't gotten to see a ton of these kids. And so, as the commitment is nearing and it becomes clear that Arkansas is probably going to be, at the very least in the factor, they're at least going to be a factor. I'm going to have to talk about it on my podcast, on Halftime with Phil and Drew, which, by the way, Phil, I know I'm going in a million different directions. I got a comment on how excited somebody was to listen to me with you guys today. So credit to you guys for the hard work that you put into this show, and thank you for letting me join it. But I am not getting to the point that I'm trying to get to, which is this. I've never seen Jordan Walsh play in person. So I pulled up YouTube knowing he was committing on Friday. I am really impressed by this kid. And there are a lot of high school kids that don't jump off the page and you see the ranking, but you're not totally sold. This kid is big. He's athletic. He jumps out the gym. And, I mean, you start talking about guys that have NBA potential as freshmen. We saw it with Moses Moody last year. And what Muss will be able to do in the transfer portal next offseason, this thing ain't slowing down anytime soon, Phil. This thing ain't slowing down anytime soon. I have Arkansas somewhere top 10, 12 coming into this season. I suspect we will be having very similar conversations at this time in 2022 as well.
Wow. Very exciting. I love how honest Muss and the coaching staff are with these recruits who, when you have 5 stars next to your name and you play with all the confidence in the world, your plan is 1 year in college and heading right to the NBA. There's no other sport you can do that. No other sport in college you can do that. And from what Jordan spoke with Richard Davenport from the Democrat-Gazette yesterday about was exactly that, a plan from the day he gets on campus until the draft on what it's going to be like for him there. And, I mean, if you're an athlete and you're supposed to visualize what you're going to do in a game, what you're going to do when you're at the free throw line, that kind of stuff. You visualize your success. Here's Muss doing the visualizing for Jordan Walsh for more than a 12-month period. I think it's brilliant.
Well, and what I want to jump in there and say what you said is that, the plan and the process, and it goes back to what you said a minute ago, Phil, about, the reputation that Muss had coming in. He's not going to play freshman, blah, blah, blah. I think credit for this recruiting success, one, it goes to Moses Moody, Devo Davis, Jalen Williams. 2, it does go to Muss, though. And the thing about Muss, I'll tell you this. I mean, listen, you guys know every guy wants to win. Nobody wants to win more than that guy. And if you're 17 years old and you're 6 months removed out of high school and you are going to put him in a better position to win than the 22-year-old redshirt senior that's played, he's playing who helps him win. And so I do think some of this goes back to last year's NCAA tournament where everybody gets so caught up on Moses Moody. And it's really funny, Phil, and Drew, is that as I'm doing all my preseason rounds, Devo Davis is a guy I think could win SEC Player of the Year. But when you mention that, people just look at the stat sheet from last year, see that he didn't have that big of an impact, statistically. But if you watch the games late, Moses Moody, Devo Davis, and Jalen Williams, there's no Elite Eight without those 3 freshmen stepping up. And so I only bring that up to very simply say this is a credit to Muss for having a game plan, but this is a credit to Muss for doing what you said, Phil. He fulfilled the promise to those freshmen where he went into their living rooms, the freshmen last year, so it would have been whatever it was, the fall of 2019, 2020, whatever it was. And he told them, if you guys are the best players, you guys are going to play. He fulfilled that promise. Those freshmen got them to the Elite Eight last year with the help of some veterans. And that is what is paying dividends and allowing this kind of success on the recruiting trail to get at Jordan Walsh and obviously Nick Smith a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's exciting what Eric Musselman is doing, and it feels like the momentum that he's building isn't going to stop anytime soon. But it is football season right now. We still haven't technically crossed over into college basketball season, and a big one here in Fayetteville this weekend with Arkansas and Auburn. But the one aspect of the game that I want to get your opinion on is which running back room would you rather have, the 4 talented ones at Arkansas, or do you want Bigsby and Harris?
Well, I just want whatever is productive. And what I would say is a couple things. One, I know obviously coming out of last weekend, I think there's 2 ways that I look at this game. One, coming out of last weekend, I know it's not how you wanted the game to end, and I know you obviously want more out of your defense. That offense put up almost 700 yards of offense. I mean, Phil, you talk about me and you going back to the Mike Anderson days. I mean, we went months without the Chad Morris era putting up 700 yards of offense. So, there are positives to take out of that game. And then with Auburn specifically, I'm also kind of intrigued by them as well. And I'm not saying the Hogs are going to roll, but you look at their resume. Okay, you lose at Penn State, natural. They're a good team, maybe a playoff team. You get smoked by Georgia. Everybody gets smoked by Georgia. They were down 2 scores going into the fourth quarter against LSU. And I guess my question is, how differently do we feel about Auburn if they don't rally in that game? And so I know I didn't directly answer your question, Drew. To me, every coach has their own system. Both systems, I think, for the most part, have worked this year. Obviously, nothing works against Georgia, and that's no criticism of Auburn or Arkansas the week before. But to me, I just find this game fascinating from that perspective. Arkansas, it's easy to focus on the negative. You lose the game, 2-point conversion, all that stuff, but there was a lot of positive. And then with Auburn, I think this is kind of the game where we figure out, okay, are they that third, second, are they in that tier, that top tier of the SEC West, or are they probably the 5th, 6th, 7th team, and we just don't know it yet?
Yeah, still a lot of things to play out. And one thing that definitely needs to play out, and I think a lot of people have overreacted to this week after the Crimson Tide lost at A&M, is basically writing them off with the one loss. Do you still have them in your CFP?
Well, it's really funny you say that, Drew, because I actually think it's the opposite. I think Alabama, I think the overreaction has come from the Texas A&M stuff. I mean, I've heard people say, well, this is a season-saving win, and, they'll need some help, but they can still get to Atlanta. And it's like, I know they played a good half, but they gave up 500 yards of offense. They barely held on against a great Alabama team. That's no discredit. But, can we pump the brakes with this team is going to run the table, even though I know they're through some of the tougher parts of their schedule? With Bama, what I would say, Drew, is, I think they're still one of the 4 best teams that I've seen. But I'm kind of mad at myself because coming out of that Ole Miss game, I bought the narrative that it was Alabama, Georgia, and a huge gap. And I don't know that I really believe that. And if you go back to the Ole Miss game, that was a game where Lane Kiffin basically gifted them 21 points. I mean, 4 times in their own three out of the 4 fourth downs were in Alabama territory. They had short field. They gave them easy scores. And I came out of that game saying, do I know that much more about Alabama than I did? And then sure enough, Texas A&M beat them last week. And so, this is another one, Drew, that, you talk about a game that we're going to learn a lot about Alabama. There are 2 road games this year, 2-point win at Florida. They were outscored 26-10 over the final 3 quarters, and the loss at Texas A&M. Is this just a young team finding its footing, or is this a team that's going to be really good at home, struggle on the road, maybe go 10-2, and this is one of those weird years where Alabama's not in the playoff? This is a weekend where I don't think they lose, but I think we start to get some answers to those kind of questions with Bama.
I want to close here with what you would think would be a betting lock for this weekend for college football. And I'm looking at your page here, Aaron Torres Online, and to take the theme of that Alabama Texas A&M game, and maybe A&M's taken a little bit too far, favored by 8.5. Is Mizzou your lock of the week, or what would you be putting money on if you're throwing money around?
I'll tell you, I don't love the board this week, but what I would say is, I think Mizzou's probably that team for that exact reason. They give up a lot of points, but they score a lot of points. A&M going on the road off of a big win, noon kickoff. It's kind of that time of year where, they're inching towards that bye, but that bye's not there yet. So that would probably be my favorite. That is actually my favorite bet of the week. Great call, Phil. I would also say, a game that I know there's bigger games on the SEC schedule. I mean, Lane Kiffin going to Tennessee, baby. Let me just say, one, home crowds have impacted games this year. And 2, what I would say, I know Lane Kiffin's been back to Tennessee as Alabama's offensive coordinator, but this feels different. He's the head coach now. This isn't an Alabama, butt whipping coming. Tennessee's playing well. This is a game that they think they're going to win. And, you just talk about a game that I'm just super fired up to watch. I know a lot of everybody else is as well. That's going to be a real fun one, Phil. To answer your question, Missouri's probably my favorite play this weekend. But that Tennessee-Ole Miss, at the very least, the atmosphere is going to be bananas, and that's one that I cannot wait to watch.
AT, looking forward to it, man. We'll do it again next week. We'll start previewing more college basketball and some crossover. I know it's going to be fun.
Thank you both. Have a great afternoon. Thank you to the listener that tuned in just to hear me. No, he didn't tune in just to hear me, but he was excited to hear me. So thank you to that guy.
That just means we can schedule him for 11:30 next week again on a Friday because now people are starting to expect that, and they like it. That's good. People also expect great service and a great choice of RVs at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. That's the RV dealership that's been serving you for over 70 years, right there on the 17-acre, 26,000-square-foot showroom floor at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma. Crabtree RV Center will help every family get the best experience. Help you choose the right RV. If there's a breakdown, the service and parts department takes care of you. Everything you need at Crabtree RV, making your family's dreams come true. For over 70 years and 4 generations, the inventory is at CrabtreeRV.com. First hour to wrap up next.
Hi folks, Scary Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources. Great used cars are so hard to find it's terrifying. Most dealers' lots look like a ghost town. Not ours. We're loaded up with premium pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs you've been looking for, and they're all Rath Road ready. Hand-picked and reconditioned in our own Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, our live market value pricing takes all the terror out of getting a great deal, with savings as much as $4,000 below retail. Are you haunted by past credit problems? Our For the People credit approval process is ghoulishly good at getting you approved. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, and a free winter-ready inspection. Better yet, let your old ride rust in peace. Trade it in and start driving better today. It's all treats and no tricks till the stroke of midnight on Halloween at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced.
One time at B-Dubs, this crew came in hungry for flavor in football. Lucky for them, we've got both for days, especially on Boneless Thursdays. With buy one, get one free hot and crispy boneless wings and football on wall-to-wall TVs, that crew couldn't leave hungry if they tried. Get here for Boneless Thursdays at Buffalo Wild Wings, to the greatest of all times.
BOGO boneless wings of equal value at participating locations on Thursdays. Not valid with other offers. Size exclusions apply while supplies last. Limit 1. Fees may apply.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a live jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Stopped up kitchen sink, a slow draining shower, toilets that won't flush? All of these can be a nightmare. This is Emily with Mr. Reuter Plumbing in Fort Smith. Did you know that our staff does video camera inspection? This ensures that these headaches are fixed, giving you peace of mind. When you need plumbing, call Mr. Reuter in Fort Smith or book online at MrReuter.com. We're your neighborly company.
Up and away with Oklahoma's longest-running balloon festival, Hodo Balloon Fest, October 15th and 16th. Escape the ordinary, feel the heat, and get up close with hot air balloons and pilots, nightly balloon glows, and tethered balloon rides. Get into the excitement of monster trucks, smash-up derby cars, helicopter, carnival rides, food and craft vendors, and much more. Brought to you by Choctaw Casino, Camping World Podo, DreamWorks Botanicals, and Dobson Fiber. For more information, follow on Facebook, PodoBalloonFest.net, or download the Podo Chamber app. Podo Balloon Fest, October 15th and 16th.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe and a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
When was the last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while or you haven't had the best of experience with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney in Family Dentistry. They take care of it all. Crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. They even offer oral consciousness sedation available for your comfort. That's Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today, 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, City!
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
I was reminded on Twitter yesterday, and I hated Twitter for this very reason yesterday, that October the 14th was the anniversary of the Braves beating the Pirates in the 7th game of the 92 NLCS and the Francisco Cabrera base hit. I read a piece in the Sporting News that detailed all the other things that led to that moment. And it was not the one reason why the Pirates failed to advance to the World Series in that. So I was kind of sitting there on Twitter yesterday, just shedding one single tear down my face, remembering the single worst moment of my sports life until the 2018 College World Series drop that everybody now remembers. But there's a happier anniversary, I guess not for Oakland Athletics fans, but definitely for Dodgers fans and for, I think, the world of baseball, because this was one of the great moments in the history of the sport. And today is the anniversary. 1988, Kirk Gibson against Dennis Eckersley. I've cut
Y'all
out.
started World Series this early? Ugh.
Yeah, how about
What
that?
were y'all doing?
There was just 2 rounds of playoffs
What?
through. It was shocking. And the Dodgers.
Tell me more about the olden days.
I'd have to go back and look at the standings, but the Dodgers that year were kind of like the Braves this year, and like the what was it? Was it the 2006 Cardinal that won just 83 games?
Yeah.
They were a team that didn't play in a good division, won the division, and then went up against. Everybody thought it would be an easy win for the New York Mets. Strawberry, Gooden, Viola, Kevin McReynolds. It was a really great team, and the Dodgers couldn't. The Dodgers ran right through, and then ran right through the Athletics. And I mean, Game 1 ended in the most amazing fashion. And I've cut out the 2 calls that are famous from this, and I think it'll be kind of fun to listen to these 2 calls. They're legendary broadcasters. The first you'll hear is Vin Scully, and he was on the Dodgers radio network for that one. And then the second call you'll hear is Jack Buck, who was on the CBS telecast that day. This is awesome stuff.
But the game right now is at the plate. High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
Oh, Vin is just so good, the master of the moment, and it was one of those calls where fewer words, and he let the radio sound take care of it. But I also love the Jack Buck call. He's doing the telecast on CBS with Bill White, and this is how it sounds from Buck, and this might be his most famous call ever.
We have a big 3-2 pitch coming here from Eckersley. Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable! A home run for Gibson. And the Dodgers have won the game 5-4. I don't believe what I just saw. I don't believe what I just saw. Is this really happening, Bill?
It is happening, and they've got to help him home. The third base coach, Joe Malfitano, had to give him a little push, and all the Dodgers are around home plate.
I don't believe what I just saw. One of the most remarkable finishes to any World Series game. A one-handed home run by Kirk Gibson, and the Dodgers have won it 5-4. And I am stunned, Bill. I have seen a lot of dramatic finishes in a lot of sports, but this one might top almost every other one.
What an awesome call. And
That's exciting.
Buck outnumbered Scully's call, as far as words were concerned, like 500 to maybe 20. But the beautiful deliverance of those 2 calls there. And, I mean, the crazy thing about that.
And, I mean, with Buck's call, I mean, the phrase, I don't believe what I just saw, you can say that to anybody, and they know exactly what you're talking about.
That's exactly right. Cardinals fans do the same with the Go Crazy home run call from Ozzie Smith in the championship series from a couple years before that. That is probably the most surprising moment in Major League history, if I could be so broad of a stroke there, because it's the only at-bat Gibson had for the only series. He was basically walking on one leg. His leg, he had a bad hamstring and a bad knee.
Wasn't he in the locker room for most of the game as well? Wasn't even in the dugout?
And the legend goes that Lasorda told him that he might use him to pinch hit in the 9th inning, depending on the moment. So Gibson went back into the into the batting cage at Dodger Stadium and tried to get in some cuts. And I don't remember exactly who I heard this from, but they could hear what was going on in the batting cage. And with every pitch that either the pitching machine threw to him, you heard a grunt and the ball hitting the back of the cage because Gibson wasn't hitting it at all. That's how much pain he was in. And he battled through, I don't know how many pitches that at-bat was, 9, 10, 11, fouled off a few. Eckersley was the best reliever in the game that year, by far. Hadn't given up a home run in a month. And hangs that slider, and Gibson gets out in front of it, one-handed backhand swing. It's magic. It's truly magic. And it's the kind of stuff that when baseball fans get nostalgic about October, that's why. That's why it's moments like that. It's games like we saw yesterday. It's games like the wild card games that you saw too. I mean, these are the moments that live in our minds for the rest of our lives. And that one from 88, it's probably at the top of the list.
And it's not just, the ones that everybody remembers. I mean, Phil, being an Orioles fan, there's not been a lot of things in my mind that really sticks out of pure joy of remembering where I was when something happened. But in Game 3 of the ALDS, Nelson Cruz, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th, hits a double into deep left it's top of the ninth, actually. Top of the ninth, because they were on the road. Top of the ninth to take the lead and me running around the fraternity house, being the only person in the middle of the day there watching baseball, screaming at the top of my lungs, is something I'll never forget. And every baseball fan out there has that moment.
We got a couple weeks left of this stuff, too. Hopefully we'll have, I think the wild card games, the first round for the most part was pretty entertaining, very exciting. And hopefully we'll have the exact same thing for the Championship Series and the World Series as well. All right, into the final hour. It's our favorite hour of the week. That's right, final hour on a Friday. 877-377-6963 to get with us, and we'll kick off hour number 2 with 3 random things next.
The Peter Pender Zone of Wave Rural Connect is open. That fiber internet, phone, and TV service you've been hearing so much about is now available for areas south of the Arkansas River, to Coxville, to east of Cecil, and over to Roseville, with amazingly fast internet starting at $49.95 a month. Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online to signup.waveruralconnect.com to get signed up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities that we serve.
You've trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance. All without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
For a limited time, Art's Barbecue and Burgers is serving up some great combo platters with all your favorite choices from Art's. Ribs and brisket, catfish and brisket, pulled pork and brisket, plus catfish and ribs. And you can add a hot link, sausage, or 2 tamales to any of the combo platters. Make your combo plate any way you want it to be. And don't forget, every Friday night is all-you-can-eat catfish at Art's. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. Real smoked barbecue.
Looking for a fence company that will provide the personal touch to your fence or gating project? Call Dusty's Fence Company at 479-629-4190. Dusty's Fence Company specializes in custom wood design, vinyl fencing, chain link, and ornamental iron projects, and they can even stain your fence to complete your project. Family owned and in business for 20 years, you will deal with the same person from start to finish. That's Dusty's Fence Company, 479-629-4190.
There are lots of options when it comes to maintenance and repair on your vehicle. Choose the right one. Choose Phoenix Avenue Tire. Maintain and extend the life of your vehicle with oil changes, brakes, batteries, radiators, shock struts, alignments. They do it all at Phoenix Avenue Tire. Starters, belts and hoses, steering and suspension. Phoenix Avenue Tire will treat your car or truck like the major investment it is. And do it right the first time. Phoenix Avenue Tire, 1701 Phoenix Avenue, right by the tracks.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, our weather remains unsettled with occasional showers and thunderstorms. Our temperatures will reach their peak early in the day, falling into the 60s and eventually in the 50s across the north into the low 70s further south. Clear and colder, overnight lows in the 40s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Ramos Roofing, specializing in all roofing needs. 479-420-9903.
It's fast. It's exciting.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is halftime, coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3. Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com. Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Final hour of the week. Best hour of the week. When you do 10 hours of radio per week, would that mean that the first 9 are like the rehearsal for the 10th, which makes this the best or the easiest hour of the week? Am I putting a little pressure on us here, Drew?
I wouldn't say pressure, but I was pretty fond of hour 3 this week. Hour 7 wasn't terrible. 6 could have used some work, though.
Wow, you got a whole scoreboard going here, man.
Well, I mean, I don't score each hour, but Matty does know I have a ranking system.
He judges us after the end of each show.
Yes, every show gets a ranking.
He calls it a grading. I call it a judging.
That must be after I've already hung up with you guys.
Yes, and it's mostly a grade on myself, but it does reflect y'all, because if I feel like I did bad, then y'all didn't do enough to carry me.
Do you grade the callers and the texters? I mean,
I do not
grade listeners, but there's really no grade on how to listen to a radio show. But the ones who interact with us, we can do a little judging on that. Do you?
Like
I can start.
I give BE a C- yesterday because he gave us false information about Pat Sajak.
Oh yeah,
and so that's
he tried to trick us.
I mean, I didn't fail you for that, but.
He's normally a reliable source, and
Usually.
when he tried to steer us the wrong way, I didn't like that.
It only takes one false story
to bring your grade
just
ask Yancey. It just takes one.
Well, BE just graded himself. He said he's a 68% texter. And you know what that means? BE, that's a D. 68% is a D.
Do D's still get degrees?
When I was doing pluses or minuses, that'd be a D+. Does that make you feel better?
When I was in school, actually, under a 70 was an F. I had one of these schools, were they raised the...
That's right, under 70 was an F.
So whenever I hear 70 and below, I'm thinking, well...
Matty also went to a school where they, steel
90
rulers on knuckles was a normal experience.
Yep.
So that's a different thing.
68 would have been in college, a D. I can't remember about high school, though. It's too long, too many beers in between.
But like a 93, or like a 92 was a B.
Yes, in high school I had that. It was like an 86 to a 92.
But I know some schools it's like a 90's an A. The heck
in college they are.
We have to grade the listeners and the callers and the texters on a curve.
Be good.
On a curve. It starts with Eddie in Clarksville.
So
it kind of goes from there, right?
Okay, so then we're only grading on like a 5-point curve thing, because Eddie gets a 95. Come on.
Is Eddie the gold standard?
That's a
Eddie ruining
idea.
Is Eddie ruining the curve for everybody else?
That's a scary idea. If he's the best student in our classroom, then we've got some problems, and it might have to do with the teachers. Let's see what Charlie and Camden grades out with today. Charlie, this is usually your segment. How are you doing? And are you ready? Have you studied enough? Because now it's a test for you. Spotlight. Go for it.
Well, first, I got to grade you guys, man. I mean, I can't just listen. I'm going to give Drew an A. I'm going to give Drew an A+, only until he starts talking about diapers and whispering in Phil's ear. And Phil, I'm going to give you an A+, man. You're just a cool dude. And
appreciate that.
Anyway, I'll give you guys an A+. I love listening to this show. This is great. This is a great show.
Well, keep in mind, like Charlie, we live in a world where, and this is not the world I grew up in, the students grade the teachers on websites that people pay attention to. So you grading the show hosts fits into our modern contemporary society of the back and forth. So I'm
How
all for
old
it.
is Drew, though? Because I think I'm older than him.
I'm 27.
Okay, yeah, I'm older than you by a year. So anyway, I guess I can be your student. But anyway, all right.
Well, Charlie, what'd you call for you? I'm guessing you're calling about football.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's definitely. I'm calling. It's Friday, so I'm making my prediction.
Well, how do you feel about this one? I think it's going to be a tight game. Honestly, I don't see anybody pulling away. If it does happen, it happens late.
I'm with you. I literally was thinking the same thing, man. So I think I deserve an A+ too, right? Because we were thinking the same. I was actually just about to say that. I was going to say I think this game is close all the way until the end. I think Arkansas pulls away in the fourth quarter because I think they wear Auburn down. Now Auburn can stop the run a little better than Ole Miss because they lined up differently, and they got better players on defense. But
they're a little beat up. They're a little beat up at some important positions for doing exactly that. Linebacker, defensive tackle, two of their best starters, two of their best defenders, Papo and Moultrie. We don't know the situation with them, but they may not be in there. And if they're not, I just get the sense Arkansas will be able to wear down that front seven.
Well, then I say they kick their butt if those guys don't play. How about that? No, 37-28, Arkansas gets the win is my call. I think it's close all the way through, and then in the fourth they pull away. That's my call. I think they wear them down like you said, and but if all those guys don't play, I could see us winning by two touchdowns. I mean, I think we're good enough. So, Bo Nix, he can, we know he can extend plays, but he's not Matt Corral.
Well, and he hasn't been turnover happy yet. He has not been turnover happy yet. And I know that's been an issue for him previously, but maybe you can rush him into some tough throws. Maybe Arkansas can recover one of these 11 fumbles that they've forced and have only recovered one of them so far. So maybe there'll be an opportunity for that.
As far as callers go, Eddie is an A+. Nobody can ever get close to him. I feel like you guys should start recording his calls and then send it to the team. Because I almost think I'd run through a wall for him if he coached me.
Well, Phil's supposed to start a Twitter account.
Yeah, I thought I'd start a Twitter account with just Eddie's texts because they're more entertaining than the calls sometimes.
He's out.
I think Charlie's gone. But he's right. Well, do we have callers now grading callers? Is this turned into a Jim Rome show?
Let's see what we're going to grade Hog Noxious.
Yeah, Hog Noxious is next up. I know Hog Noxious, you were at the fall series game yesterday. I was there for the first 6 innings. Couldn't stick around after that. I had to get out. But it was great to see the guys out there playing yesterday.
It was. That means you were you there long enough to see that horrendous call at home plate where he was clearly safe? And
that's the last play that I saw. Yeah, the wild pitch that they tried to. Yeah, that was a pretty bad call. I think we need to have replay for fall series games now. What do you think? Huh? Yeah, got to get these calls right in fall series.
Well, here's where you would have made money yesterday or last night. The betting against an umpiring crew that involved Angel Hernandez making a horrible call, game deciding in a very important game, and Angel had nothing to do with it.
Well, I'm sure that was in the back of Gabe Morales' mind. Don't be an Angel Hernandez. Don't be an Angel Hernandez. The difference with Hernandez is that he makes it all about himself. He's the ump show guy. He doesn't just get the calls wrong. He's so dramatic with everything that he does. Morales is not like that. He's not an ump show guy. He just screwed up yesterday.
Well, that's true. I'll take the Hogs 31-28.
See, and I think the game will be something quite like that. Arkansas a little, not quite 100% defensively. Auburn's tried to run the ball without very much success the last couple of games. I think we'll find out whether or not Arkansas's issues against the run will be a rest of the season long thing or just like a 2-game stretch, because Auburn's going to keep coming at you and still, you've had good linebacker play, but you only have 3 linebackers right now. Andrew Parker hasn't played much at all, if any, since the second or third game, unless it's been on special teams. So, that's the whole idea of, if you go to the 4-down lineman, you need a third linebacker back there, and I just don't know if there's if the linebacking core is deep enough for that right now. So
yeah. Like the last C-plus caller, I can see Arkansas blowing this one out, but I think it has more to do with the fans. If the fans will come hard and loud to start the game, we might just pull a Georgia and they do a couple of mistakes, and the game's over in the first 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes, huh? If they don't show well. I mean, look, we've seen 11 o'clock games the last 2 weeks, and I don't know if I'll base it upon game day being in Athens or not, but those folks showed up for the game in Athens, and that was a huge reason why Arkansas just really wasn't really very good that day. And
I'm like Eddie. It's time for the Arkansas fans to do the same tomorrow morning.
Well, Mississippi fans weren't
it's
there
sold
to
out.
start.
It's sold out. Just got to be there.
That's the whole
idea. They bought the tickets.
Well, right. Like, I go to the Dave Matthews Band concert, end up sitting in 3 seats I didn't pay for because those people didn't show up. So show up when you buy your tickets.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to rain. It's going to feel like a beautiful fall afternoon. Be there.
Show up and go to work.
Go
a fan. Hogs.
That's right. Be a fan. Punch in your time clock card. You get your paycheck in 2 weeks.
Thank you, fellas.
You got it. Appreciate you, Hog Noxious. Always good to talk to you. And they are the guesses are coming in. We call them predictions. They're really guesses. We're all guessing.
Exactly.
Like educated guesses, maybe, or is it an emotional guess in some cases? I think it is
more than likely
more of an emotional guess than an educated guess sometimes.
Yeah, but that's how fandom works, Phil. Nobody likes the fan that thinks that they're going to lose. Nobody likes the pre-Kool-Aid Bruce, all right? And now that he's drank the Kool-Aid, he's on the board going for Final Four in basketball. He drank the Kool-Aid back in September saying they were going 10-2. Everyone likes that Bruce in Nashville. Nobody likes the, well, why even bother fan. Of course, have some passion.
I thought we had a new policy on halftime. I'm going to have to dock your grade a little bit.
What'd I do?
We're no longer drinking Kool-Aid. Now it's Jell-O shots.
You're right. Sorry.
Okay?
Bruce is taking the Jell-O shots.
Taking the Jell-O shots. That's right. All right, you went from an A+ to an A just because.
Do I have a chance to go back up?
We got another 50 minutes or left in this hour. We'll see how much you can suck up to the professor and see how far that goes. 877-377-6963. Halftime. We'll come right back.
Love. When you bite your lip, it's a reaction to love. Here she comes again when she's dancing beneath the starry sky.
Make sure you tune into Hog Reaction after every Razorback football game.
Sent Time message the other day, that after game thing you did, man, that was old school type radio, and I thought it was great. Keep up the good work, fellas.
He's got Birch at the 20.
Back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. Head to your website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of these amazing offers for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
The Game Day Lodge in Branson is the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. You'll find 10 bedrooms with 19 beds for up to 28 guests, 9 bathrooms, 17 TVs, poker table, 2 kitchens, 2 laundry rooms, a fire pit, 2 gas grills, outdoor basketball court, a heated indoor swimming pool nearby, and a 10-minute drive to Silver Dollar City. Not to mention near some of the best golf courses. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Airbnb, and VRBO. We're back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always,
Furniture in Barling, or call 877-305-DISH for the Playmaker. You'll find it now at World of Wireless.
You've had the hand-breaded chicken sandwich at Hardee's, but have you tried it with crispy bacon, melty Swiss, and their new hot honey sauce? It's the ultimate flavor of sweet and heat. Get it while you can, because this honey has some bite. Taste the sweet heat for yourself with the new hot honey hand-breaded chicken sandwich at Hardee's. Go get it now.
Feed your happy. Available for a limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Daddy worked like a mule mining Pike County coal. His back couldn't work anymore. He said,
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff. Presented by Randall Ford and Bud Light. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
All right, hitting the home stretch here on a Friday, 877-377-6963. Been taking calls, been taking ideas about Arkansas versus Auburn. You might want to talk about basketball for this weekend. Baseball finished the fall series. Lots going on the Hill. Our next caller there's not from the Hill. He's from Northeast Arkansas. It's Randall. Randall is next on Half Time. Randall, do you ever go by Randy? Do you ever allow anybody to call you Randy, or do you need the whole first name like Randall Cunningham did?
No, sir. It's got to be the full name.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Heart, he did not like me to be called Randy.
Very good.
No,
Mama call him Randy. I'm going to call him Randy. Okay.
No, Randall, yeah.
Or Randall, sorry. My bad.
Get it right.
Yeah, that's fine. Isn't it just awesome to be a Razorback fan right now?
Well, you tell me.
mean,
tell me how it
good
feels. Explain it to
I'm
me.
gonna tell
You sound like you've been
I'm gonna
around
tell
a bit, Randall, so you tell me.
I'm going to tell you something. Back in the he whose name we will not mention days, it was depressing even to listen to you guys.
It was depressing
And
to
now,
do the show
I
then,
mean,
man.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You know, you talk about grading your callers and stuff. Really, it all starts with the Hogs themselves. I mean, it is just, you know, like I said, the basketball team is just looking awesome. And I do have a question for you. With Muss having doing such a good job at recruiting and everything, won't that help Sam Pittman's recruiting too? Am I totally wrong there?
I think it's difficult sometimes to correlate success from one program to success from the other program, especially in recruiting, because you know a football recruit is not committing to Eric Musselman and his staff; they're committing to Sam Pittman and his staff. But there is the sense of, you know, there's momentum, there's a little something going on with that with the Arkansas athletic department, and part of it is like the way the coaches all seem to get together. And honestly, to me, that feels like from football all the way to soccer and volleyball. It's not just the 4 coaches that we'll talk about on this show. It's all of them. You know, the whole One Razorback thing does really seem to have taken hold in the department. I just, you know, you take a basketball recruit, you take a baseball recruit to a football game and say, look, this is what Razorback athletics is like. You know, maybe that's a little bit of a nice sell for them, but still at the very end of it, I feel like kids commit to coaches So I know where you're going with this. There's a little simpatico with the programs. I just wonder how that factors in.
Well, I know in the Texas game they showed the basketball team there leading the crowd in cheers and the excitement. And if you're a good basketball team, you go to a football game, you're like to get a hero's welcome. I mean, it just seemed like that would make for such an exciting time on the campus, even in the off season. But it's just a great time to be a Razorback fan. I mean, I look forward to listening to, the shows are exciting. Y'all's shows are more exciting. It's just a great time. And, I mean, man, Woo Pig Suey is all I got to say.
Yeah, it's well said, Randall. Look, it's what is difficult to cover from a show perspective. Like fans, you just want to have a good team. You want wins. You want something that's exciting, but you want a team that wins. For talk shows, for sports talk, man, I mean, it kind of works on the extremes here. If you get a great team, that's fantastic for everybody. If you get a really awful team, people actually want to hear the anger, and they want to be a part of that anger, and they want to get that anger out. And
nobody wants to talk about the 6-6 team.
Yeah, right.
You want it to be one way or the other. And ultimately, we prefer to come on here and be happy. We prefer to talk about the great teams. But either way does sell.
Well, it sucks to have to continuously point out the negative, be searching for little specks of diamonds in a pile of crap, which is essentially what you tried to do for 2 years.
Exactly.
So this is a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun. And I don't identify, Randall says he's a Razorback fan, and he is. I don't identify as a fan, but I'm certainly happy when Arkansas wins. As a broadcaster that
good
covers
for business.
These teams,
I'm all for it.
Look,
I like being happy.
You're around these people. You want them to succeed. And it does make the job more fun. So then we're all happy in that case. All happy in that case, right? All right. We'll continue talking about this Arkansas-Auburn game. And a lot of you want to. But we do have another thing we're going to get to here. So let's see what Maddie's planned for us here. Maddie did some extra work, so I think he wanted – Maddie's always an A+. There's no way you can actually
100%.
a grade that's any better than A+. But we asked for 3 random things. Maddie's got 6.
Well, these are
above and
backed
beyond.
These are backed up from last week. You know what happens when I get backed up?
Yeah, you got to stay away from Maddie when he gets backed up.
Pull that cork and I'm going to blow, baby.
That's right.
So let me ask you this. Let's start off with something, with a real deep question. What's something that both of you guys want to do before you die, but not something like unachievable? You're not going to, probably not climb a pyramid or something, but what's something that you think you can achieve before you die that you would like to? And what made me think about this is William Shatner going to outer space.
See, I was about to say, is it obtainable for me to get on Bezos' rocket?
At this point, no.
Okay.
Not unless you have $250,000?
Bro, I don't have $2.
You live another 60 years, and maybe you'll be able to buy a ticket to the moon on
Come on,
kayak.
Phil. You know how rough I live life. I'm not living 60 years.
You better start changing your ways, man. Otherwise, you're not going to make it to Mars.
Well, I always like to say, the saying goes, only the good die young. So if I died young, must have been pretty darn good.
Only the good.
Think about it.
Depending on what it is, what word correlates with good.
That's just the saying. I mean, take it up with Paul McCartney. That's what he said.
Well, let's see. I'm going to go 2 ways with this, and I think both of these are achievable. One, I'd like to call a Major League Baseball game on a Major League radio station at some point. Maybe do that more than once.
That seems achievable.
Feels like it could be. If I never make it, that's fine. I love what I'm doing right now, but I think that feels achievable. That's a goal I set a long time ago. I'd still like to achieve that. The other is I'm kind of beginning to feel like I might want to try jumping out of an airplane.
I've always wanted to do that.
So that's the main one I was thinking about.
I've always wanted to do that.
Is that something I'm actually going to pursue and do, though? But it is something that I feel like I want to do before I die.
I've flown a plane before, so now I just need to jump out of it.
I forgot a very important piece of that. With a parachute.
Ah, yes, of course. Of course.
Good. I just had to make sure you guys knew that.
We
Nobody's
understood.
out there planning, taking me on a flight, throwing me out of the window with no parachute.
I don't need to give you a hotline number or anything, right?
And another one I was thinking about the other day was bungee jumping. Is that something
I'd much rather jump out of the plane because the bungee cord, if they don't measure it exactly right, flat on the ground, or it slings me back up and hit my head.
And they wear
I know
out
it's
too.
only in Joe Dirt, but I mean, if you hit your head, I'm in a coma, and then I wake up with a different mullet.
I don't really want to know. I don't want to feel like a marionette, dangling from a bridge and bouncing up and down like that. Just down, one way only.
What would I do? All right. I don't know how achievable this is, but I would like to visit every continent. Antarctica, maybe not. Don't really care about that one. But
counts.
Australia, South America, Europe, Asia, and Africa. And I've already obviously got North America crossed off the list.
And you actually want to do something there. You don't want to just land.
Yeah, I just don't want to land there. Yeah.
I've been to Atlanta, but it was the Atlanta airport.
I don't know how much time you want to spend on Antarctica. It's just, put a foot on Antarctica and go the other direction.
I to count Antarctica, I at least have to drink a beer there. So I got to drink it real quick.
So maybe you drink a beer in every
chewing your beer, my
continent.
friend.
Drink a beer in every continent. Hey, here, make it even a step further. Can't just drink a local beer in every continent. So I guess I'll have to just bring my own in Antarctica, but drink a locally brewed beer in every continent.
What about you, Maddie?
Mine would have probably been similar along the lines of the jump out of an airplane.
I, of course, definitely want to do that one.
You want to do it together, you and me, a tandem parachute?
Am I going to be on the front or the back?
Now, see, that's the big
Have either
question,
one of you
right?
jumped out of a plane?
Nope.
When you do tandem, you
Never
kind of
done
need
it.
somebody who's done it before.
We're just
Never
more
done it.
focused on the tandem part.
Y'all do the tandem part. I'll take the extra 4-hour class, and I'll go by myself.
Maddie and I are going to ride a tandem bike out of a plane with a tandem parachute. This is going to be fun.
We're going to ride a bicycle built for two out of an airplane and then tandem jump to. Wow, that sounds awesome. My next question, and this is because there's a new Ghostbusters movie coming out.
There is?
We were talking about, Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's only like a year late. But we were talking about Dan Aykroyd, and Dan Aykroyd, this came up with the Blues Brothers talk last week.
Mm-hmm.
He really does believe in ghosts and stuff, and he's responsible for writing a lot of that stuff. But it made me want to ask you guys, do either of you guys believe in ghost or paranormal activity?
Yes and yes.
And then if so, what is the reason for that?
The reason for me is, and it's one of those weird things. One, I've seen a ghost. Now, that's a story for another time. It's way too long of a story. My parents' house is haunted.
But let's mark this down.
Yes.
Drew has seen a ghost.
I've seen a ghost.
He said the reason is something else. I was going to throw in the reason is hallucinogenic drugs.
Were you on any sort of hallucinogenic?
I was in high school.
So, yes.
This was before those days, Maddie. No, I was not. That's too long of a story. Too much to get into. And another thing that always sticks with me is my grandfather always says there's stranger things between heaven and earth. So, I mean, I'm always open to the possibilities. I mean, and it just seems like it'd be cool to be a ghost, right? For a little bit. I feel like it'd be cool to be like a ghost and being able to freak people out.
For a little bit, as long as you could control how long you're a ghost, right? Yeah.
And I could pick and choose the rules. And that's another thing. Like, I like to listen to some paranormal podcasts and stuff, but trying to figure out the rules of what the ghost or spirit or demon can and can't do.
Like, are the ghosts allowed to come in the bathroom when I don't know it and,
You're right.
and watch me and stuff?
Like, that's creepy.
Is
I
there
mean, are there creepy ghosts? I'm guessing there's creepy people.
Like,
there's creepy ghosts.
If you were a ghost, what would you want to watch people do that they don't know you're watching them do it?
Cook. Just want to watch them cook so I get some better ideas.
Pottery.
Phil, how do you feel about ghosts?
So my whole idea, I think when you die, you die. I don't think there's much after that, if anything. But then again...
See, that's no fun.
But then again, it's not about fun. But then again, I've been haunted in a couple of hotels. I have
So
been
you don't believe in
into
ghosts, but you believe you've been haunted.
hotels, so I'm not sure which direction to go. And I remember these two places, too. One's the Broadview Hotel, downtown Wichita, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
They even tell you the story there from that hotel. I mean, murders. The place has been around since the 20s. It's got a little bit of a... I mean, it's not the Overlook, from The Shining, because it's a downtown hotel. But it had some murders there.
Yeah.
So you kind of wonder what's going to happen.
It had some good murders.
You wonder what
Wasn't the
happens
most
when you
popular
open
murders, but murders.
But people were killed.
Yeah, I mean, not famous murders, but there were murders.
You might open a door to a bathroom and you see, a ghost woman in there all naked for you, just like in the movie.
And she turns into an old lady.
Yeah.
Well,
but the Broadview Hotel in downtown Wichita and the Labossiere Hotel in Bossier City, Louisiana. I've experienced some pretty weird moments there that I couldn't really explain. So I don't know which direction to go here.
Before we move on to number 3, I need ghosts to be real because otherwise
it's
it was
fun.
absolutely pointless for me to make the missus climb up that hill in Eureka Springs to see the haunted Crescent Hotel. If there wasn't even the possibility that there's a ghost there, then I made her do that for absolutely nothing.
And I've been there more than once, and I've done the ghost tour.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anything.
I've heard of
Well,
haunted
have you stayed?
ballparks.
Have you stayed
I
there?
have not stayed overnight, though.
I've heard of haunted ballparks. Ray Rinder Field in Little Rock,
Yeah.
the old park that was built on a burial site for the old state hospital, the mental hospital. And the theory went that there was a little patch of grass out there in right field that you could never get to change to green.
Ooh.
What do you think about that, huh?
It was all the gases and stuff from the decaying bodies under the ground.
Yeah, I'm sure it had nothing to do with just,
Just
poor
some-
fertilization.
They didn't
Which
have
number
proper
3,
drainage.
Maddie?
Well, now that we're talking about ghosts and stuff, I almost feel like I ought to just throw this out there. So that was really a
Oh.
two-part question. How do you feel about aliens and UFOs?
You want to go first?
Just a quick. This can be quick though.
You can't tell me that this gigantic universe, that this is the only place, this planet is the only one with life? Really? There's no way, absolutely no way. Yes, there are aliens out there. I don't know how close they are to Earth. I don't know if we've met any of them yet, but they're out there.
So what about the aerial phenomenon that they've admitted to recently?
That was a
Do you
hoax.
think-
That was something to take our mind off of other
You don't
things.
think that
That's-
those were that wasn't?
I do not believe we have been visited by aliens. I'm still 50-50 on the fact that there's aliens out there, because I do agree with Phil. I do believe that you're telling me there's so many different planets and stars and systems and galaxies out there. It's just logical to think we can't be the only one that got into the perfect situation, right? But I also want to defend the human race and the meat sacks that we are. Why is every time we talk about the possibility of extraterrestrial life, talk about aliens, we always talk about how much more advanced they are than us? Why do we always think that aliens are thousands of years technology ahead of us?
Oh,
Maybe they could just be out there, but they're the exact same timeline as us. Like they're not further technology wise than us. They're not zipping around the stars and the galaxies. Why do we always sell ourselves short and not believe that? Hey, maybe we could be, if not the smartest, we could be tied.
They might
we
have
could be
come
tied
from
for
a-
the smartest.
But they might have come from a whole other space-time continuum through a black hole.
And that's right.
And that picks up time. That speeds it up
And
too.
what if they're interdimensional beings?
That's another theory.
Maddie, I want to give you you're getting a better grade than A+ because you just turned this radio show into the craziest it has ever been. This was Art Bell in the middle of the day. It was well done. Very well done.
So do we have time for maybe another one, or
you want to? Hey, you deserve another one.
Go ahead.
Go for it, please.
All right, we'll get back on track here. Since Phil he did go to the Dave Matthews Band.
He's a
concert the
DMB
other
head.
night.
Is that what they call him?
A DMB head. Yeah,
maybe not.
So what is I know Drew. I've heard some stories from Drew off the air about concerts. What is the craziest concert?
I'm not telling that story.
Craziest concert and or festival you've been to? Mine would be the craziest concert I went to had to be Gwar, and some of the stuff that they did with different
the Gallagher of the music world.
Yes.
Yeah, you better come with a poncho even if it's not raining.
And we were in up on a higher level with a plastic sheet in front of us to block all the blood and guts that were being shot into the crowd. And then the craziest festival I've ever been to, I went with my father in 2006 to a Gathering of the Juggalos festival.
Oh, God.
Where
With your dad.
where Too Short walked off stage because somebody threw a 2-liter bottle at his head.
I've got nothing to compete with that, Maddie.
Oh.
Nothing.
Well, you don't have to compete.
I
with
have
it, but
plenty of stuff that could compete for off-air stories.
Oh,
Nothing
man,
I
I
am
mean-
willing to share. I would like to keep a job and have a career here, Phil. And
I attended the original Lollapalooza. What was that? The summer in '92, and Pennsylvania then had the Cinderella driver's license, where you basically couldn't be out past midnight. And so we couldn't even stick around for the end of it. The only thing that made it a crazy concert for me is because I was the idiot in the back of our friend's station wagon. We drove station wagons back then. That grabbed onto something and was like, "Oh, what is this?" And I pushed the button, and it was mace. I maced everybody in the vehicle without even realizing what I had done. That made it pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That made it suck. The other would be a Fish concert, which I don't remember very much about. But that's all I can tell you about that concert.
All right, I will go for concert-wise. I'll use the scapegoat that Phil did. That's all I can tell you about it. Hangout Fest 21 Pilots back in 2016. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Best festival I've been to, though, hands down, got to be Bonnaroo.
There will be
Happy
a
Roo, baby.
podcast.
That is so.
Drew will
it's
have
one
a
of the best.
podcast where he will detail everything that happened. at
Once
these
again,
concerts.
would like a career.
The 21 Pilots is a story I heard the
Yes,
other night.
the 21 Pilots is a story
I
you
can
heard at dinner.
confirm that is a wild
Woohoo!
All right, I know we got to step aside in a moment here. We're brought to you by The Fence Man. If you've always wanted a powered automatic gate at your home or business but don't know who to call, you need to call The Fence Man. custom wrought iron installation, automatic gates, controlled access systems, camera and security installations, lots more. Make sure to ask about 18-month same-as-cash financing for your custom fence and gate needs. The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. He ain't afraid of no work. And we're not afraid of continuing on halftime right after this. Halftime is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center. 4 generations making your family dreams come true.
Did you know about 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime? Unfortunately, all treatment options can have side effects, like erectile dysfunction, urinary leakage, and bowel complications. However, SpaceOAR Hydrogel can help minimize your risk of side effects when used with radiation therapy. To learn more about the risks and benefits of SpaceOAR, visit spaceoar.com. That's spaceoar.com. Spaceoar.com. Sponsored by Boston Scientific.
When it comes to baling, the denser, the better. Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas can show you how roll belt round balers produce denser and higher quality round bales that drive down your production costs while driving up the nutrition of your bales. A competitive comparison showed New Holland roll belt round balers provide savings in net wrap, transportation, and lower storage losses. It's like being able to afford a new baler every other year. Stop by Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas soon to learn firsthand about the benefits of roll belt round balers.
Honey, wake up!
Shh, you're gonna wake the baby.
But it's Monday!
So?
It's a Powerball draw day!
I thought those were only on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Not anymore! They're on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and now Mondays!
Wait, for real?
Yes!
Rise and shine, baby! Let's go get a Powerball ticket!
Get psyched! Powerball drawings are now 3 days a week, so get your ticket today. This is winning. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
The temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Are you in need of roofing repairs or maybe more? Construction Master Roofing, who has been under new management since 2019 with over 25 years of experience, is who you need to call. Estimates are free, and military, first responders, and medical workers receive 5% off. Construction Master Roofing guarantees their work, and the number you need to call is 648-8888 in the River Valley, and in Oklahoma, call 918-859-4714. Construction Master Roofing, the roofing company that cares and gets the job done.
Check out our selection and savings today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. If you're in the market looking for a Dodge Ram, this is a place to shop. If you're looking for Toyota Tundras, how about GMC Sierras or Chevrolet Silverados, pre-owned F-150s? If you're looking for Mustangs, Corvettes, we have a little bit of something for everyone. Stop in and see us, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, or shop us online at randallford.com.
TGI Fridays is the best place in Fort Smith for food, fun, and football. Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith has your favorite beers on tap. And Thursday through Sunday for bar football, all drafts are just $2. Fridays is the best place to watch football with plenty of TVs so you won't miss a second of the action while enjoying famous Fridays appetizers like the loaded potato skins or Friday's signature whiskey glazed sliders. It's food, fun, and football with $2 drafts Thursday through Sunday at your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
This is ESPN 95.3.
never too high, never too low, perfect for a baseball team, and the understanding that the Cardinals are going to do things in the way that they view as the Cardinal way, but what does that mean for philosophical differences for somebody that's been around an organization since 2004? It's very interesting. Aaron has given us a call. I think I was about to tell him Aaron's in Clarksville. I think he's in Clarksville.
Springdale.
He's not in Clarksville. He's in Springdale. I missed that by about an hour and 15 minutes.
You were way off.
Yeah, I was way off there. So take my grade down to a B+ today, guys. Aaron in Springdale, you're next up on Halftime. What's up?
Hey, brother. I was listening to you guys earlier talking about bucket list items.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to call in and throw one on for you. I've been skydiving. I've had a beer in 4 out of the 7 continents.
Pretty good.
That was really good. But something I think you got to add to your bucket list is called para-hawking. You go parasailing, and so you can only do it in Spain and Nepal. You go parasailing with a piece of meat on your arm, and a hawk will come and eat it off your arm while you're parasailing in the sky.
What's going to keep him from eating the rest of me?
Is there any possible way you can try this with sharks?
Listen, if I could try, I've been shark diving too.
No. I ain't doing that.
Is this the Dos Equis guy?
This is fantastic. We are literally inviting the raptors in the sky to yank off our limbs. It's essentially what it sounds like we're doing.
Have you done this?
No, it's the number one thing on my bucket list to do, though. The next time I go to Spain, I'm going to go and try and do it. But what they do is they give you like a metal brace that it's on that the hawk can land on, and it'll either like fly by and grab it, or it'll land on that brace, and then it'll eat it. And so, it's hard to. That would be awesome. What story can one up that? It's just one of those things where I'm like, oh, this would be really awesome to do. So
I just see there's absolutely nothing that could go wrong there, right? Yeah. You got to use your arms to be able to steer. You better wear a full face mask and goggles, otherwise that raptor is going to tear your face
and
out.
What happens when the hawk is done with the meat? You didn't provide enough meat for a full meal. He starts going crazy. You're crashing. You're done.
He goes for your eyeballs, and then you can't see where you're going.
Aaron, you sound like a thrill seeker, man. Why are you going to Spain without running with the bulls? That should be on your bucket list if you're going to Spain, right?
Hey, I have. I've been in Pamplona where the running of the bulls has been, and I wasn't there when the running of the bulls happened, but they've got this big statue, and they talk about it. But they don't talk about, like, they actually kill the bulls once they get it inside the Coliseum.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
So they use these swords, and then they kill the bulls, and then they eat them later on. And so
I was about to say, I know for like with the matador bullfights. I know like a lot of them they donate the meat to like orphanages and homeless shelters. And
really,
stuff.
I'm always rooting for.
It's
the
actually
bull.
a good thing.
I love seeing people get like hit with the bull and flipped over the rails and everything.
Well, I hear hawks really like bull meat, so you can go para-hawking with that stuff. You brought it all together on your next trip to Spain, okay, Aaron?
Yes, done. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Aaron.
The phone call and for playing along with us.
That was an A+ call.
That was
A+. Good job, Aaron.
A+. You remember from Christmas Story? A+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ I forget what he got on the grade. And
C+.
Yeah, because he's going to shoot his eye out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. 877-377-6963. If you want to give us a bucket list thing here, there you go. I'd like to call a Razorback win in a championship for baseball. I think that's within reach. Doesn't it feel like Arkansas basketball
100% reach.
An opportunity to play for a championship, a national championship, Final Four, sometime in the next 2 years? Heck, they played to get into the Final Four this last year.
Mm-hmm.
You get 2 big-time recruiting classes. Maybe so. Baseball's always in that
seems
conversation.
attainable.
Yeah.
Very attainable.
I think so. I think it'd be pretty good. I think it'd be pretty good to do that. All right. Let's step aside for our break because we're going to do our picks coming up in the next segment. Figure out what this college football Saturday is going to look like.
But I didn't do any research yet.
Well, you got 5 minutes.
You remembered your coin, right?
I did remember the coin.
Okay. Yeah, you remembered your coin.
Not
so
because we were
making
making our picks, but because I carry it so I can get a shopping cart at Aldi.
Maddie, since you and I are going to be
Tandem
bicycle para-hawking together, maybe we need to be simpatico on our Friday football picks for tomorrow. We'll also give you our final thoughts on the Razorbacks and the Auburn Tigers, which, by the way, by tomorrow, we should be emptying out from the locker room, getting ready for the start of the second half, right about that-ish. All right, 877-377-6963 for your final thoughts on Arkansas versus Auburn, and if you would ever try para-hawking.
No.
Sounds like
I'll jump out of the plane, but the hawk better not attack me.
Let Carco Car Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car. Carco Auto Sales has been serving the River Valley in eastern Oklahoma for over 40 years and believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating people right. The friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to help you find the car you deserve, priced right to fit your budget, so you can leave with a peace of mind knowing that you are getting a quality, well-maintained vehicle. Come see the team at Carco Auto Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, at 2810 Midland Boulevard today. Give them a call at 783-1722 or check them out at buyfromcarco.com. Carco Auto Sales, when you're ready.
In the mood for a top shelf night? 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge has your number. Sit back, relax, and enjoy select wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of our delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Your company is known for top pay and great salaries, but how do your benefits compare to the competition? Hi, this is Brett Good with Henderson Phillips. In today's competitive labor market, great pay is no longer enough. Call me at 479-651-2292 and let's discuss your benefit plans to make sure your company has what it needs to attract and retain the best talent. I am Brett Good with Henderson Phillips. Call me today, 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Law's Drugstore in Fort Smith has COVID vaccinations available today for you and your family. Law's Drugstore has the Pfizer vaccine for ages 12 and up. The vaccine is safe and effective in preventing severe cases of COVID. Just call 452-6116 to schedule your appointment or stop by Law's Drugstore at 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family. Call them now, 452-6116.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Hi folks, Scary Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources. Great used cars are so hard to find it's terrifying. Most dealers' lots look like a ghost town. Not ours. We're loaded up with premium pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs you've been looking for, and they're all Rath Road ready. Hand-picked and reconditioned in our own Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, our live market value pricing takes all the terror out of getting a great deal, with savings as much as $4,000 below retail. Are you haunted by past credit problems? Our For the People credit approval process is ghoulishly good at getting you approved. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, and a free winter-ready inspection. Better yet, let your old ride rust in peace. Trade it in and start driving better today. It's all treats and no tricks till the stroke of midnight on Halloween at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced.
This is ESPN 95.3.
It's a big job just getting by with 9 kids and a wife.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Well, the Houston Astros shot at the ALCS just took a big dip. Their best starting pitcher, Lance McCullers Jr., is not on the ALCS roster. Yeah, he came out of Game 4 because of forearm tightness and will not be pitching against the Boston Red Sox. So McCullers, I mean, he's pretty important to this team. He threw 10 2/3 of the 35 innings the Astros pitched in the series against the White Sox. He started 2 games, won 1 of them, had himself a really good regular season, and you know they're a little bit short, I think, on what you would say would be starting pitching for a World Championship caliber team. Might have to throw Zach Greinke a little bit. Greinke worked out of the bullpen against the White Sox. I have a feeling he's going to have to start. So yeah, no Lance McCullers against the Red Sox, and of course that series does start later on tonight. Chris Sale and Framber Valdez will be the starters at Minute Maid Park.
Should be a fun series.
Should be a fun series. Make your plans this weekend for 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, 906 Garrison Avenue in the Fort. This is where you find the best top-shelf spirits in the state, best hand-rolled cigars anywhere, and great food, great atmosphere, all in an atmosphere that feels much less like a bar, much more like an upscale social lounge. You won't smell like a cigar with the air replaced every 4 minutes. At 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, they're open until 1 a.m. tonight and tomorrow. Visit their Facebook page for specials and events. All right, it's time for us to some picks for college football. Drew, what are our standings?
All right, the current standings is, of course, I am in the lead, 22-14 overall. Matty T is in second place, 19-17. And Phil Elson is the only one under 500, 17-19.
But trending upwards.
Trending upwards going into Week 7 for our halftime Friday football forecast. All lines are provided by VegasInsider.com. First game tonight, the Clemson Tigers minus 13.5 at Syracuse. Matty T, what does the coin say?
Tell Syracuse.
Matty is going with Syracuse to cover the 13.5.
It's a problem for Clemson to even score 13.5 points these days. They're averaging under 20. I think Clemson wins. Syracuse covers.
13.5. That's just it's a weird number. I'm gonna go with Clemson though. I think that they pull it out barely. I get the half-point hook and get there by 2 touchdowns. Oklahoma State, still undefeated Oklahoma State, on the road in Austin versus the Texas Longhorns. Longhorns, though, are 4.5-point favorites. I'll go first. Give me the Cowboys. Keeping it going.
I'm going to go with Texas. I think their offense going to be a little too much for Oklahoma State.
Well, according to my coin, it's tells, so it looks like they are not going to be undefeated for much longer.
That's the coins has spoken, so it must be true. In Athens for the second time in 3 weeks, College game day in Georgia for the third time in 3 weeks are, of course, 20-plus point favorites as Georgia is minus 22.5 against Kentucky. Phil, what says you?
Georgia's about to blow Kentucky off the ball. Kentucky played a couple of bad teams the last 2 weeks. Florida's not bad, but they're not coached very well. Too many penalties. LSU's fallen apart. Kentucky's not going to make a dent against Georgia. Give me the Bulldogs.
Matty T?
Give me heads.
Matty T is taking the Wildcats to cover the plus 22.5. I'm with Phil. I'm going to take Georgia to cover because it's almost like it was with Bama. You go broke betting against them. Number 3, Cincinnati Bearcats at home, minus 21.5-point favorites against the Fighting Gus Malzahns of UCF. I'm taking Cincy. UCF lost against Navy a few weeks ago. I watched a full game of Navy yesterday. I've seen a couple full games of Cincinnati. Yeah, Cincinnati's really that good, and they're going to cover the 21.5 over UCF. Matty T?
Give me tells.
Matty T is also going with the Bearcats. Phil, do we have a show lock, or are you going out on your own?
UCF is banged up, and this is the time in the AAC schedule where Cincinnati doesn't just have to win. They've got to beat the bejesus about their opponents. That's going to happen this weekend. Give me Cincy.
All right, show lock. First one for the week. BYU, after losing last week, still believe ranked number 19. They are on the road at Baylor, but Baylor is a 5.5-point favorite at home. Matty T, what says the coin?
The coin says Baylor.
Coin says Baylor. Matty T is going with the Bears. Phil Elson.
Yeah, at home, I'll take Baylor to cover.
It's -5. I'm going to go opposite, and I don't really feel like it. Like it's a great bet, but I just really, and I don't even really need to gain ground. I'm already beating both of you, but I just want to extend my lead. So I'm going to go BYU to cover the -5.5. And our last game of the week, the FCS game of the week, we are going to the Volunteer State as East Tennessee State 6-0 is at University of Tennessee Chattanooga. Just so a little side note, in case anybody forgot, ETSU beat Vandy, but Chat only lost to Kentucky by 5 points. Phil, who you got? Bucks or Mocs?
Give me Etsu.
Etsu. Phil is going with the Bucks. Matty T, Bucks or Mocs?
Chattanooga.
Matty T is going with the Misses alma mater. The Misses went to Chat. I am not, though. I'm going against the Misses, and I am going to take the Buccaneers.
All right. We got to it just at the very end when we needed it.
We did it.
Good job, guys.
For all of you, callers, listeners, texters, and the hosts. And we'll see what's up on Monday when we get into Arkansas football, hoops. Next week's another great week of sports talk. For Maddie, for Drew, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, get better.